Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. I'm a beauty consultant who loves to talk about everything dealing with makeup, and today we've got my December favorites. Now, not a long video, just a few products I wanted to highlight and share with you, so stay tuned for all of that. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. It truly does mean a lot to me, and I would like for you to go on ahead, subscribe to the channel, because we really do make good content over here. So let's get into this video. First, I want to start off with a skincare product that I don't have with me because it's upstairs in my bathroom and I just am being in a mode where I don't feel like going to get it, but I will pop it up here on the screen. So this is by Dove. It's a pre-body cleanser. Now, Gabe Loves Makeup was the one that I heard it from, and he raved about it, and I was like, now I've heard of double cleansing the skin with makeup, like the face, but never my body. So I bought it. You guys, this is really good. Okay. So the pre-cleanse, you can get one, I think there's an anti-aging one and then a hydration one. I have the hydration one. It makes my skin feel so soft. So what I do is I get in the shower and I'll get wet, and then I'll put the pre-cleanse all over my body. And then it says to rinse it off and then go in with like your normal body wash. And then after that, I go in with the Olay body conditioner. They have one for day and one for night. I love both. If I had to choose one, I would go with the night one because I like that one. I think it has lavender in it. But when I'm telling you, when you get out of the shower between the pre-cleanse, your normal body wash, and then the Olay products, ma'am, oh ma'am, you're like, I literally have a visible sheen on the skin and my skin feels soft. And when I'm in one of those modes where like I'm rushing, I will literally just put like conditioner on my feet, or lotion I should say, on my feet, and I'm out the door because my body genuinely is so hydrated from all three products. So the pre-cleanse and the Olay product are two that like, I love those. The Olay ones I've talked about on this channel before, but I haven't talked about it like a ton, but I have purchased the Olay one time and time again. I'm almost out of the Dove pre-cleanse jar, so I'm gonna be picking up another one in the next week because I really do like it. And I feel like, you know what, now I have a double cleanse for my body as well as a double cleanse for my face. Third skincare product that I want to talk about is the Body K body cream. I actually just finished that this morning, so it's in the trash can, but I've gone through two of them in literally 2 months. The first one I bought was during the Sephora savings event in November. Flew through it because it's so creamy. So it's a thicker cream, but what I love about it is that it's not overly thick to where I feel like it doesn't absorb into my skin. It's also not overly greasy to where it's like getting all over my clothes and like, you know, making it hard for me to get my clothes on because it's so thick and, you know, kind of greasy. Doesn't have that texture at all, but it's thick enough for people who have really dry skin, and it moisturizes my skin. So I love it. Like, I'm definitely going to be purchasing a third one. I purchased the first one during the Sephora savings event, and then the second one I purchased during Black Friday, and I just ran out. So one tube, if you use it every day, will last you about a month. It's either unscented or it has a very light scent. So it's got a scent to it. I think it does have a scent to it, but it's very light, like nothing that smells like fragrance, at least not to me. It's really great. I love the packaging. So like, absolutely love those skincare products. I've been using those every day. Highly recommend them. Okay, on to Zay Makeup. So first, I really don't have like, there wasn't really a foundation that I was like gravitating toward outside of this one that I'm already going to talk about. And I think I've already talked about this in my November favorites. This was definitely in my favorite foundations of the year. The YSL All Hours foundation, y'all. I'm still loving this foundation. So I have the shade DM1. The high points of this foundation is that it's literally a luminous matte. So when you think luminous matte, or at least when I think of it, I think of more like natural, like a natural finish on the skin. Very much full coverage, so you get really good coverage straight out of the gate. You don't have to put a lot on to get decent coverage either. So if you don't like a full-on, full coverage look, just put less product on. I love the shade of this foundation, and it just wears amazingly. I think it's claiming like 24 hours worth of wear. Okay, I don't know about 24 hours, but like you're getting a strong 16 hours, maybe plus, on this foundation, and it's just great. Now, concealer favorite, oh my gosh. So I actually talked about this in my favorite concealers of 2022, but I ranked it not too low, but also not too high. But this has been my go-to concealer all December. I think this might have been the only concealer I was really wearing unless I had to wear another concealer. The Dior Backstage Concealer. OMG. So I have shade 3W, and here's the thing, I bought this concealer right around the time when it came out. I ended up not doing an actual review on it because like a lot of just time went by and I was like, okay, nobody wants to see it. And then, you know, I tried it and I was like, okay, this has a more like matte formula. I would say it has more of like a demi matte, a soft matte type of finish to the formula. And so initially I was just like, I don't really know about this, but like I kept reaching for it, Yeah. Okay, so this is beautiful. So here's the thing. If you do have really dry skin, I don't think you're gonna like this concealer because it is more of a matte concealer. If you've got more combo oily skin or normal skin, I think you could really enjoy it. I have more normal skin and I do have even drier skin under my eyes. So I tend to not go for concealers that are really dry under the eye area. So this one can get dry. So what I do is first of all, I don't overload the products. I'll put like a nice amount here, a nice amount here to where I can blend in the full under eye area, but I'm not, you know, making that huge V or anything like that. I let it sit. That's when the magic happens. Now you might be thinking like, well, if it's a matte concealer, why would you let it sit and almost dry to where it might become more matte? But for some reason with this formula, it doesn't get more matte the longer it sits, but it gets definitely more of like a creamier formula. So you get really good coverage out of this concealer. Like you can get full coverage out of this concealer. And I've noticed over the year of using it, I like it best when I let this sit as long as I want on my face. So like I will put this on, I'll do my brows. If I've already done my eye makeup, I'll throw on lashes and I'll do brows. I'll like do all the things. So I'll let this sit for like a good 5 to 7 minutes. Then I'll go to blend that joker out, and I might have to put just a slight bit of elbow grease to like get it to blend because it does stay in place. But the finish that it leaves under the eye is such a beautiful, just natural, full coverage, flawless look, but it's not too full coverage. It's not cakey. It's beautiful. It is truly beautiful. It's not the concealer I'm wearing today. I actually am wearing the Pat McGrath concealer today. But, yo, I'm still reaching for this. This is really, really good. Blush. So, LYS Beauty came out with a mini set of their blushes. So, it was a trio of blushes. And they look like so. So, they're so cute. So, this came out like, I want to say like right around the Sephora Savings event. So this is the trio, and they included 2 new shades. The 2 new shades have been the shades I have been using the most. So the standard shade that they have in the trio is this one called Empower. And I like Empower, but I don't use it all the time. It's not like a go-to shade of mine. And just to show you a difference in size, this is what their normal size of packaging is. And then this is what the mini size looks like. So as you can see, it's actually not that small, and in all honesty, I actually like the mini size better because it's really great to travel with in terms of size. So the shades that I have been wearing non-stop, and this is not just in December, like since I've gotten them, have been the shades Grateful and Unforgettable. So here's the shade Grateful, and this is like a cooler tone, I would say like dusty rose type of shade. And it's so pretty on the skin. The formula is a creamy matte formula, and I really enjoy their formulation of their blushes because you can apply them under powder, on top of powder, and they really do last all day. You don't have to worry about, you know, them being a cream formula but not having any staying power. And then we have Unforgettable. So I was wearing Grateful, the more cooler tone shade more like in the beginning of December, and then this shade Unforgettable toward the end of December. But they're really both beautiful. So this trio is, I think the trio is sold on Sephora and LYS's site. And I do think it's still a bit available, but such beautiful shades. And I would say out of the two that I just showed you, I wear Grateful the most, because this is a really beautiful neutral blush. It goes like with anything, any look. It's just a really good go-to blush shade for my complexion. And then we get into some lippies. Cause like, oh, wait, eyeshadow palette. Okay, this eyeshadow palette, when I tell you I cannot put it down, it was the only eyeshadow palette that when I had a choice, I chose. And I really didn't have any eyeshadow palettes really to review during the month of December. So this was the one that I wore the most. The Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palette. This palette is freaking gold in my opinion. It is so pretty, and especially for just like really quick but impactful eye looks, this palette does it for me. I love every shade in this palette. The formulation is so beautiful. The mattes are very creamy, blend very well. Then you have these kind of metallic like shades here, great pigmentation, nice and opaque. But the angel dust here in the middle, no, I call it fairy dust. Oh, it's the fairy dust for me. It is the fairy dust for me. I love everything about this palette. Highly recommend this one. If you're somebody like me who enjoys palettes that can give you those quick, simple looks. It's so beautiful. I've traveled with it, like it is a go-to palette for me. Okay, then, oh, I do want to talk about this. Danessa Myricks Duet Balm. So the Duet Balm, it's definitely a product that I don't really think many people talk about, and it's an amazing product. So it is a balm that leaves a dewy finish on the skin, but it lasts, it's not overly sticky, and you can put it on top of powder and it's not gonna pick up the product underneath. I know, okay? So this is the shade called Hot Water. I also have Sweet Water, which has like a peachy, pinky hue to it. There's a clear shade. I just don't feel like getting them all. But I've got 3 shades, okay? So this is what you do, and this is why I love the product. When you want to add glow to the face, but you don't want it everywhere, let's say you're going for a matte look, but you just want like nice little glow here, but you wanna make it pop, and you wanna make it juicy and last. You take the Duet Balm, and let me swatch it for you, so you can first of all see the texture of it. Like swatching it, when you feel it, you're like, oh, this is gonna be like a sticky mess on the face, right? But it's not, it's really not. So I like to go in with like a denser brush, and I literally would just tap it right into the product, and then, look at this, tap it right here on the face, okay? Gives you the glow you want. And I'll come in close, and no, granted, this makeup that I've had on, it has been on well over 12 hours. It looks really bad up close, okay? So no judgment on the Duet Balm. But as you can see right here, it did not pick up my foundation or powder that I had on my face. So I've been loving this when I want a really glossy glow, but I don't want it to look powdery, right? Like I want it to look almost like a cream liquid type of look, and I don't want to use a powder highlight. I also like using this just on bare skin, so I'm not doing anything today. I'll throw in a lip, a little bit of this, and I'm done. And it gives such like life and luminosity to the face. It is so stinking pretty. So I have truly been enjoying this one, and in December I used this a lot as my highlighter because I don't know, I just wasn't really reaching for other highlighters, or it was just kind of like I want a quick little highlight, but I don't feel like going and reaching for a powder one. Like this was just a quick go-to, but I like that juicy, watery look right here. Can't get that from a powder highlight at all. So yeah, that definitely was a favorite of mine from December. And then we can get to the lips. So the only lip that I have been wearing now for a good month and a half solid, unless like I said, I need to change it up for a reason, are Jaclyn Cosmetics lip products, her lip liner and her liquid lipsticks. So I just did a declutter of my lip liners and my liquid lipsticks, or just my lipsticks in general. And I have 11 of her liquid lipsticks. I was like, okay, I didn't realize I had that many. And I have more of her lip liners. I recently just bought 3 of them. So There's 2 shades of lip liner and 2 shades of lipsticks or liquid lipsticks that I cannot get enough of, that I wear time and time again in some form or fashion. So it's gonna be Coffee Cake and Bourbon. Ooh, I've got macaroon here, but where is Bourbon? There we go. So we've got Coffee Cake and we have Bourbon. I love the lip liners because they're really creamy. They're a nice matte formula, but they're not overly dry, and they last on the lips a very good amount of time. And I also love the shade. So I have concluded, because I did ask myself, like, what is it about Jacqueline's lip products that, like, I really love that makes me keep coming back to them and wanting to purchase more? And for me, it is the shade. It's the undertone of the product. So there's no lip product that she has that you can't look at and go, oh, I have something like that at home. But it's the undertones. The undertones are just slightly different, and it just hits. Like, the products that I'm about to show you look so good against my complexion, but I can rock them with literally any look. Like, they're not too warm, they're not too cool tone. It just, oh, so good. So these are the 2 lip liners that I have been obsessing over. So this first one right here is going to be Bourbon. And then this one right here is Coffee Cake. And with Coffee Cake, I remember when I first got it, I was like, is this gonna be deep enough to be a lip liner? But when you want yourself a nice nude lip, but you don't want it to be too deep, like you're not trying to go in here, you know, with the Sephora Collection Molasses. I don't want something that deep, all right? And you also don't want it to be too warm, and you also don't want it to be too cool. You want it real neutral. These have been giving that to me. And then the liquid lipsticks that I legitimately cannot stop using. We got I'm a Cancer and Absolutely. So I'm a Cancer is my absolute favorite Jacqueline liquid lipstick of all time. Like, the shade just, it's a pinky nude. It's almost like a pinky, yeah, it is a pinky nude. So there is I'm a Cancer right here. And as you can see, it pairs really nicely with these lip liners. Like, either of these lip liners I will wear with I'm a Cancer. And then Absolutely, because why not? Oh, Absolutely is a little more peachy in its formula, or its shade, I should say. So there is Absolutely. So Absolutely, I'm a Cancer. This is where it's been for me. This is where it has been for me. Sometimes, like earlier today, I had on the lip liner macaroon because I wanted like a lighter lip color, and I wore Be Brave. Yes, I wore Be Brave. I was like, ooh, this is pretty. And it looked really nice together. So here is Be Brave. So I mean, I love them. Truly, truly love all of her liquid lipsticks, her lip liners. I definitely can see myself eventually just getting them all, because I have almost all of them now. The liquid lipstick formula is if I could say, a traditional liquid lipstick. It's gonna dry down to a nice matte. But what I like is that my lips don't ever feel crusty and dry. I can reapply the liquid lipstick on top of it, and it doesn't ball up. And they really do last all day. Like, they last through me eating and talking. The only time that I really have to reapply is if I eat something that's like extremely either like greasy or just kind of all over my lips. But they truly last all day long. So some of the best like long-lasting liquid lipstick formulas that I've tried. And then lastly, we got a little fragrance, okay? So I was on TikTok, because that's how most things are discovered at this point in our lives. And I found this fragrance channel. I can't remember the lady's name at all, but she was raving about these 2 fragrance enhancers by House of Sillage. And I was like, I actually talked about these. I think this was, I did a Black Friday haul and I talked about them, but I hadn't really smelled them all or worn them all. I think I smelled them in that video, but I hadn't worn any of them. Okay, so here's the thing. I have worn them all. So the first one, let me just show you the box. So these are called their perfume amplifiers. So I bought the like fresh scent, and then I bought the seductive one, okay? So you get 4 amplifiers in each of the boxes. So this is what the fresh one looks like. They call it the wellness collection. And of all of them, I only actually kept one. I gave the other 3 to my sisters and my mom. Nothing was wrong with them, but like I have come to realize I am not a fresh scent gal. I like my scents to be fruit, like either fruity floral, or woody, or musky. Fresh, doesn't really go for me. So the 3 that I gave up have more of like a fresher, you know, top of the morning type of scent to them. And granted, these amplifiers are made to be used to amplify your fragrance. So I know that I could mix them with other fragrances, but since I don't have a lot of fresh based fragrances, I was like, you know, I'm not gonna use them. Let me give them to people who will. But the one that I did keep is called Clean Rejuvenation. So this one is described as capture the essence of renewing your soul with radiant notes of tangelo, amber woods, and sweet musk. See, I told you guys, to evolve into a state of feeling free and pure. Smells so divine. So you don't need a lot of the product. As you can see, it just looks like a liquid product. What's great about these is that you can wear them alone. So I will just put them wherever I normally put my fragrance. So I put them down my neck, on my pulse points, and then I will spray my fragrance on top. And they really do amplify your fragrance for, oh, it smells so good. For fragrances that don't last as long, these do help to prolong them. So I do think that these are great. When I bought them, they were half off, which made them around $63, which I thought was really cheap and inexpensive for House of Sillage. But even full price, these are $125. And I thought that was actually a really good price considering it's House of Sillage and you're getting a lot of product here. So I think these are great. This is the Sensual collection. Now this Sensual collection, honey, is everything, okay? So I think my favorite one is Erogenous. Oh, they're all just great. Let me just describe all of them to you. So Erogenous says, take your body and mind stimulation to the next level and heighten your sensitivity with a gentle touch of cherry extract, whipped cream extract, vanilla on the nape of the neck for that oh so delicious, tantalizing feeling. I really enjoy this one. I've mixed this one with Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. Honey, so good. And then the next one is called Self Pleasure. So this is Self Pleasure. It says, a moment to connect with yourself and enhance emotional satisfaction with hibiscus, passion fruit, and whipped vanilla. Have I mixed this one? Ooh, what did I mix this with? I can't remember what I mixed this one with, but you definitely smell the vanilla like straight out of the gate, but really, really good. Endorphin Release is next, and it says, enhance your excitement and feeling of euphoria with notes of sandalwood, suede, and olibanum. I think that's how you pronounce that. To reach the ultimate cloud nine effect. This one I would say I have worn the least. It doesn't, I like the smell of it. I just like the smell of the other ones better. And then lastly, Foreplay. I think this is the one I mixed with Kilian's Angel Share. Okay. Let your imaginations run wild. Spice up your dreams with hand-picked tuberose, golden gardenia, and vanilla orchid to explore new sensations and climax your desire. Did I do this one? No, I didn't do this one. Okay, here, now I know. I think I did Self Pleasure with Kilian's Angel Share. I forgot what I mixed with this one, but honestly, Foreplay, girl, Foreplay, I just be wearing by itself. It smells so good, and by themselves, they all have a pretty good lasting power. I would say by themselves, you get a good maybe like 4 hours of wear, which I think is actually pretty good for it to be an amplifier. Like, it's made to be worn with another fragrance, but they do really well by themselves. So I've been loving this. I actually, like I was saying, I was wearing a lot of these just by themselves versus mixing them with fragrances. But when I would mix them with a fragrance, I really enjoyed the combination. And I also like that although the amplifiers have a fragrance to them, it's not so overpowering that when you mix it with another fragrance that you enjoy, you can't enjoy both of them together. So truly amazing, highly recommend them. I'll have all of these products linked down below. Let me know what your favorite products were from December, because I would love to hear those. And guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad because he'd love to have you. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.